I've lived in California my whole life, and I blew it. I have missed entire regions, skipped parks because they were too crowded, and waited decades to see places like Death Valley and the Lost Coast. So here are 7 mistakes that I made that now you don't need to make. Let's start with my biggest mistake, and that was waiting too long to go back to Yosemite National Park because of the crowds. For years, I would say, yeah, I'll go when it's less crowded. Then I figured it out. It's never empty. And if it is empty, something is seriously wrong and you don't want to be there. My mistake was assuming I'd eventually get back to the park. Meanwhile, I was missing one of the most ridiculous, beautiful, stunning landscapes on Earth. The drive-in on 120, the granite, the cliffs, the way the valley opens up, it really will stop you in your tracks. Yeah, the parking lots fill, yeah, the trails get clogged. Go anyway. Go at dawn, go in shoulder season. Go for a crazy day trip from the Bay Area. It can be done in one day. Just don't wait. Go. In my head, Death Valley was exactly one thing: hot. No color, no depth, like the desert from the Roadrunner cartoons, if you're old enough to remember that. Coming in over the Panamint Range was the first slap in the face. The mountains rise out of nowhere. The air changes. The smells are different. The scale, everything is dramatic. Badwater, Zabriskie Point, the artist's palette. They're not just beautiful, they're bizarre and beautiful. They don't even look real. Now, I waited 50 years to go because I assumed it was boring. It's the opposite of boring. The only thing boring about Death Valley is the version of me that avoided it. Yosemite, Death Valley, Joshua Tree, Sequoia, Redwood, Lassen. When I was younger, I kind of treated them like they were items on a checklist. In and out, done, next. That was my mistake. Don't make it yours. California parks are enormous. You cannot do Yosemite in a day, you can't do Sequoia in an afternoon, and you absolutely cannot understand Lassen from the driver's seat of your car. If you only have a limited amount of time, pick one thing: a hike, a grove, a canyon, a single stretch of road, and go deeper instead of wider. Now, this was hard for me to learn. I grew up in a culture of kind of maximizing trips, getting the best of, squeezing everything in. But the real California happens when you stop checking boxes and actually experience a place. Touch the dirt, feel the temperature change, hear the silence. That's what I do now. I went to school in Northern California, and I drove past the Lost Coast repeatedly without turning off Highway 101 and heading west. The name alone should have tipped me off. Lost Coast, as in, maybe go see it, you dummy. When I finally went, I felt like I was stepping out of the state entirely. The Kings Range shoots straight out of the ocean to 4,000 feet. The coastline is jagged and wild. There are stretches with no cell signal, no gas service, nothing. It's one of the only places in California where you can stand alone on a beach and see no one. I hiked out to the abandoned lighthouse at Punta Gorda and stumbled onto a sea lion colony sprawled across the rocks. The sound hit me first, this deep, guttural barking and rumbling echoing off the cliffs. The smell came next, and then I saw them, dozens of them, just kind of living their best chaotic lives, lounging in the sun. While I stood there with my camera feeling just a little bit like an intruder, and feeling really lucky that I stumbled upon that. That's kind of the Lost Coast. It's raw, it's unfiltered, completely indifferent to whether you show up or not. It requires planning. You don't just wing it on the Lost Coast, but that's part of the appeal. The Lost Coast, it's earned. I don't embarrass easy, but this one embarrasses me a little bit, and that is Modoc County. Modoc County is tucked so deep in the northeast corner of the state that it might as well be in its own time zone. I didn't give it a thought for most of my life. When people mentioned it, I would nod like I knew what they were talking about. Then I actually went. Modoc isn't dramatic like Yosemite or lush like the Redwoods. It's stranger. It's where the Sierra Nevada ends, the Cascade begins, and the Great Basin stretches out forever. It's lava fields, high desert lakes, lonely roads, and skies that honestly feel too big for California. If you need restaurants, shops, or entertainment, skip this place. If you want solitude, weird geology, and the feeling of being completely removed from the modern world, go. It's the most out there place I've found in the state, a landlocked version of the Lost Coast. For decades, I assumed summer was California travel season. That was my mistake. Now, being in school myself and having kids, that may have had something to do with that. Summer is when everything is a little bit more crowded, a little hotter, maybe a little overpriced and full. Spring and fall, the shoulder seasons, are where California really shines. Spring brings roaring water and wildflowers, cool mornings. Fall brings that crisp air, quiet trails, and that feeling that you get when the land is, preparing for winter. You get better light, which I love, better temperatures. Almost everything's a little bit better. Just know that snow can shut down the higher elevations in spring, and fall gives you shorter days. But those two seasons have given me some of the best trips of my life. I'm retired, so I can make that happen. If you can swing shoulder season, do it. This is the mistake I made almost everywhere, showing up clueless. For years, I would drive to a place, get out, look around, and think, mountains, cool. Then I'd leave, missing something. Once I started reading, even a tiny bit before visiting a place, the history, the geology, why the land looks the way it does, the entire experience changed for me. A little research, a bit of reading, some context, it amps the entire travel experience. And with the internet at your fingertips now, there's really no excuse not to do it. Don't make the mistake I did. Find out about these places before you go. The experience will be that much better. So those are 7 of the big mistakes I made after 6 decades in the Golden State. I made more, but we don't have all day. Now, you're going to make your own mistakes, but hopefully you're not going to make the ones that I did after watching this video. If you like this kind of thing, stick around, watch a few more videos, subscribe, or ignore all of that and just get outside. Whether you're 25, 50, or 75, you're not getting any younger. Now is the time to explore California and go touch some dirt. I'm Nick, this is Hidden California, and I'll see you out there.